Hope you all had an amazing Easter weekend, celebrated, with friends, families. So that is beautiful. And so welcome to the show. Welcome each and every morning to Ria and Alka show. We're always, so happy that we get to share with you our knowledge so that you can lead a successful life and business. So without further ado, let's get started, because it's going to be a very exciting conversation that I will be leading today. So welcome to the show. My name is Alka.
My name is Ria,
and welcome
to our show.
So friends, so today I'm going to be leading the conversation. So let me just illustrate the point. Ria, you can hear me okay, right?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. All right. So today I'm going to be talking about selling yourself short. And so here we are. So I'm going to be talking about chapter 5 from the book Selling Yourself Short. Now, when it comes to selling yourself short, chapter 5. So the definition of selling yourself short. Now, most of us often we tend to sell sell ourselves short. And what I mean, oh, the pen just stopped. Okay, that is interesting. Sorry, the pen just stopped. Oh, okay. So selling yourself short. Selling yourself short is sabotaging your, that's when you become modest. You sabotage yourself. You become modest, and you become modest, and you don't share your qualities. So you are modest, and you don't sell, you sell yourself short. So you don't highlight, or you don't show other people the qualities that you have. So, and I can relate to this, because I was that person. I would sell myself short, and I would sell myself short, and I would not, okay, here's the thing. So often when we sell ourselves short, often when we are modest and we don't want people to know the good side, the good qualities that we have, that actually can sabotage you. That actually can lead you to, life going forward. Because for me, what that did, when I didn't highlight myself, nobody really knew. Nobody knew as to what I was doing. So be confident. Be confident. Be confident in your in your ideas and be confident in your abilities. Being confident in your abilities, because what does that translate to? Well, being confident in your ideas and your abilities is having the belief. So the belief is actually, I'm going to stick to the black. Yeah. So it's having the belief. Sorry, I didn't want that there yet. So having the belief. And if you recall, in the Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill, I talked about belief and how if you have the belief, the willing and able is going to dictate you how life really sort of proceeds you forward to your desires. So belief number one. So let me just let's see. Okay, let's go for this. So belief and so when we talk about willing and able, is the actions that you are going to take, is the actions that you are going to take that are going to lead you to your goals and dreams. And so our goals and dreams is what propels us forward to what we can achieve, and it's going to unleash you the power. So the power that you have, so the power comes within. So I'm just going to illustrate that. Maybe that's going to illustrate that in red. So the power. So when I think of power, I think of strength. So let's illustrate strength. Yeah. So when I think of power, I think of, you know, having the strength to conquer anything that sort of stops us in our way. You know, I talked about whether you have, you know, obstacles or challenges that come your way, and quite often that is a test. That is a test to see, and those obstacles and challenges are a test to your character. So it's a test to see your character, explode to its potential. Potential. Perfect. Okay, so quite often we all have reservoirs of potential in us, and you know, sometimes we don't see that, and quite often we don't see that is because it comes down to, again, your belief. And your belief, once you have a firm belief, you stand ground into what you are wanting, then that belief automatically will come into play. Now, there are two things that I wanted to share. So one, so I'm just going to illustrate that in black. So we have we have beautiful colors here illustrated. So, so number, oh, that's a bit thick. Okay, well, I'm just going to erase that for now. So so I'm just going to, it's going to illustrate that. Okay, I did not want this yet. Okay, so number one. Okay, so number one is the positive. So our potential, there are two kinds. So we have the potential to move forward, or that potential that we don't often see that will lead into, I don't know what this is. Okay, so that often the potential that we have. Okay.
Do you need help?
Yeah, you know what? I was just trying to. I didn't want this yet, but it.
Go to the second pen.
Hmm?
Go to the second pen where you can choose the colors.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You see the circle? You see you chose the big thick circle. So choose the thin circle.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Choose a thinner circle.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we see, so friends, so potential. So the potential that we are seeing.
Choose a thinner one. Choose a small circle. The smallest circle. That's still thick.
That's still thick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's try this one. Okay, so friends, as I was saying, so potential, we have the positive. Okay, we're gonna try this. Okay, this is the positive. I didn't want that. Okay, perfect. So, right, okay, thank you, Rhea. Okay, so the potential that we have, so it's the positive. And and the positive influences as to what we're wanting. So when I talk about this chapter about selling yourself short, is the mistake that most of us make because we do not let other people see our potential and abilities. And that is, you know, that is the number one. That is the number one reason people fall short. And so this ties in perfect segue. Now, I'm just going to leave this, you know, for a bit, the next few you know, headings that I just want to share with you, because this chapter from Jillian Michaels' book, it is deep in a sense, because you know, she's a trainer, as we all know. She's a personal trainer, and she talks about, when it comes to your mindset, she talks about the physiology, the biochemistry of how our thoughts and feelings relate to every aspect of our lives. So abilities. So I'm going to share this with you, illustrate this with you in maybe a different color. Okay, so your thoughts and abilities, so that's got to do with your it seems like Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I just switched off. And so your abilities has everything to do with your self-esteem. Now, growing up, as you know, when I was growing up in high school, my father told me that people would treat you how you treat yourself. And so if you don't respect, and so I'm just going to illustrate, so I'm just going to illustrate that in this point. So if you don't, so self-esteem. So if you don't respect yourself, well, you will not have others respecting you. You will not have others respecting you. And so in any endeavor that you choose to go into, so self-esteem comes down to self-respect. And self-respect is a form. So oh, I'm sorry, I guess with the S. Okay, perfect. So self-esteem, it is a form of self-respect. Now, if you are not respecting yourself, well, how do we expect other people to respect us? So your external, so I'm just going to share that. Okay. Why is this thick? Okay, so your self-esteem, as I mentioned, is a form of so your self-esteem is a form of self-respect, and in any endeavor that I want to get into, so self-esteem comes down to, you know, your health, whether it comes to losing weight, whether it comes to your business endeavors, you know, first time you are getting into a business. Well, if you don't have the confidence, now what happens is quite often the self-esteem is a reflection of who we are, and who we are becomes the person. What, because I can relate to this absolutely. I mean, you know, back in my early years, I lacked self-confidence, I lacked self-esteem, and because of the these setbacks, these roadblocks that just came in my way, I did not progress. I did not realize that I had potential, but because I had these limiting beliefs, these roadblocks that crept in my way, it allowed me to not do so many things. So as a result of the self-esteem, you know, whenever we sort of, you know, have a goal. So if the goal, for example, is to lose weight, if that is your goal, now what tends to happen, most of us, we reach the goal, but only to backslide. Now, why do we do that? Why do we slide back to, you know, we've reached that goal, but we go back. Why? Self-esteem. It comes down to self-esteem because we think we are not worthy enough. We are not worth it. And so because of we say to ourselves, those limiting beliefs that we are not worth it, well, as a result, nothing happens. And so even in your business, you have a goal to, say you have a goal to really go into many countries. If that's your goal, you want to go into, say, 5 countries, that's your goal. Your goal is to hire team members. But you slide back because you think, okay, the company perhaps is not where it really needs to be. Okay, this illustration is, okay, so I'm just going to illustrate the point just now because I'm just going to illustrate one more time. Sorry, technology. So the self-esteem, as I mentioned, comes down to, okay, you are not setting, people tend to backslide. So people tend to backslide on their goals. And because they backslide on their goals and goals and dreams, is because it comes down to self-worth. Comes down to self-worth. Now, your self-worth is everything because self-worth is a correlation between self-esteem and your self-respect. Because if you respect yourself, as my father told me, when I was in school, is that you have to let treat other people like you would want to be treated. And most of us, we tend to go through life, and is that self-fulfilling prophecy that, we've reached to a particular point, and we want to be likable, we want to have, and do so many things. But your self-worth is what will stay with you in the long run. So what I would like for you to do is to make a list, have a stock of, say, for example, what have you accomplished? What have you accomplished? List all of your accomplishments, because why this is a good task to do is because when you list all of your accomplishments, your subconscious mind, remember in the Think and Grow Rich book, I shared with you your subconscious, you have your conscious mind, which is your logic and educated mind. Your subconscious mind, however, is the thinking, feeling, is your feeling and emotional mind. So your subconscious mind, when you make a list, better to write down rather than record on the phone. Why? This is a powerful tool as well, because when you write down the list of all your accomplishments, your subconscious mind registers and it will bring you about everything that you've accomplished. So making a list of all your accomplishments is very, very important. Number 2 also is the small. Is also the small victories. So the small victories, I mean, I love this. I love to celebrate even the smallest of wins, because why? Why do we want to celebrate smallest of wins? Sometimes people think, oh, well, it's just a small win. Well, a small win, friends, will lead to bigger wins. That's how we need to think about that. Small wins will lead to bigger wins. And so when you're writing down, writing down your victories will be another important step as well. And then also is to write down a list of all your blames that what you blame other people for, or what are you ashamed about. And why do we want to know that? Because if you don't acknowledge what are you ashamed about, or what have you done, for example, that you are not happy about, what have you done that prevented you from not accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. So this list, I really want you to be mindful and really go through step by step, because this will lead you to, as I mentioned in the beginning, that, this chapter alone, selling yourself short. So selling yourself short is, you're being modest. You are being modest, and you are not letting people know how good you are. You are not letting people see your qualities that they want. And also being confident in yourself. Well, what is that? What is being confident in yourself? Well, being confident is having the ideas and the abilities that you have, so that you are powerful. You stand ground for what you believe in. And so belief is also in your actions, because, and there's a very powerful word, it's called praxis. So when I talk about it, let me just share that with you, actually, which is a good point. So praxis. So the word praxis. What is praxis? I'm going to highlight this in pink. So actually, let me just write it down here, because, okay, so the word praxis, means it's the integration, of your beliefs, with behavior. So what do I mean by this? What do I mean by praxis is the integration of belief and behavior? That, say, for example, I would say to myself, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. But my behavior would otherwise would tell me something different. I could not do it. So that is praxis, is the integration of your beliefs and your behavior. So this is actually very, very important, very powerful. So my friends, I just wanted to leave this with you, because it is a very powerful tool when we, when we talk about, sharing setting yourself short is going to be, it's not good for you in the long run. Why? It's because, we all have potential, and people don't see your potential, and you yourself are hiding from the outside world to not seeing your brilliance. then you are setting yourself short. So my friends, I just wanted to leave you here with these points that, take note of the list that I had shown you. Write down your list of accomplishments. What have you accomplished, in 2021? Write down everything, and to thus far, to April 2022, write down your victories, because even if it's small, it doesn't matter, because your small victories will lead to bigger victories in the future. And write down, what are you ashamed about? What do you regret? Because if you open up and write down these thoughts, any regrets you have, what are you guilty about? What are you ashamed about? Open up. The more you can open up, the more you can set yourself free for the potential that you have, the abilities that you have, so you don't sell yourself short. So Ria, any points maybe you'd like to make?
Thank you, Alka, for that wonderful lesson on selling ourselves short. Now, I believe in the motto. There's a famous quote. I don't know who the author is, but I tell this to my kids. You probably heard of this. Dream for the stars. You may not wind up with them, but you won't wind up. You may not reach them, but you won't wind up with mud either. So, it's like selling yourself short if you do not dream big things, right? So I look at it in a way that, who your mentors are, because in the beginning, I started dreaming small. I was selling myself short as well, until I learned more about personal development, and I have mentors. And because of the mentors, I'm dreaming big as well. So yes, every day we do have a journal. I do have a journal. I write down every single day in my journal what my goals are, what my I wouldn't call them failures, but what I've tried to do before. And I always course correct, because at some point in time, if you do not quit, if you do not give up, you will reach your goal. So those are my points from your topic today, selling yourself short. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Ria. Appreciate your insights as well. Thank you. And absolutely, friends, do not sell yourself short ever. Don't do that, and don't quit. Even if you feel at some point in the day or at some point in your life that things are not going, it's not working. Maybe you feel it's not working for you, but it's working in you. And if it's working in you, it's working for you. And maybe me too, hands up, I feel guilty of this as well, but we need to just keep on going. And the more we just keep on going, the more we're going to see that we are capable, we have the potential. So important is, let's not quit, but just keep on moving forward and keeping our eyes on the prize, so that we don't think about selling ourselves short. So friends, we have come to the end of the show. And so thank you so much for always joining Ria and I on the Ria and Alka show, because we love sharing knowledge from Ria's book, from Robert Kiyosaki's Financial IQ, and my book from Jillian Michaels, Unlimited. Yes, you have unlimited potential. So friends,